It may seem that the story of you is chaotic. However, in reality, it is not. The more stories you pass through, the more likely you will be to piece it into one whole picture. Use every possible opportunity. The truth is somewhere close.
And with that, I'll say, hey, hey, cookies. We are back. We're going to be playing a game today called My Name Is You, and it's the only unusual thing in my life. And I don't think this one's going to be funny or silly. I think one's going to be kind of serious, but who knows? Maybe it'll be a little bit of everything. Let's find out. New story,
I
please.
suppose I will start at the very beginning.
It's the best place. Start at the beginning. What do I do? Anything. Click? Oh, click. Okay.
Chapter 1. Once upon a time, there lived you. Despite his unusual name, his life was hardly any different from others.
Okay.
It was an unusually usual day when he was getting ready to go to work. 2 hours of sleep. What a formality, he said to himself, glancing at his watch. He was used to working at night, just as he was used to never having days off. That morning, the buttons on his shirt were fastened faster than usual.
You did not learn English in America. You pronounced those T's real hard.
This was not by chance. The tear-off calendar boldly declared Friday, April 3rd.
Okay.
It reminded him that there were only 3 workdays before his holiday, and there was no room for mistakes.
Oh no. I feel like he's gonna have
His
mistakes.
room in a communal apartment was not very big, so it did not take him long to pack.
Okay, so he lives with other people.
Having got dressed, he quietly walked past the neighbors' rooms into the hallway. Somebody was snoring loudly in the furthest room, which caused you to smile for some reason. He walked up to the front door and accidentally stepped on a pile of letters. Picking up the envelopes, he saw his name on one of them. You automatically put it in his pocket and walked out. The thought that next Sunday, a huge stone would be removed from the entrance to the crypt of his existence by the power of labor legislation kept you going.
What? Wait. Okay, hang on. The thought that that next Sunday, a huge stone be removed from the entrance to the crypt of his existence by the power of labor legislation. It feels like there's a lot of references in here. We're dealing with some sort of labor movement. The stone from the entrance to the crypt would be a reference to like the resurrection of Christ, like him disappearing from his tomb. The stone was rolled away, blah 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 blah. See, I knew that education. Oh. Oh. Okay. Let's read the letter. We should probably go to work, but I'm curious about this letter. I don't think this is going to be funny, guys.
Glancing at the address line, a chill went through Yu's body for a split second. From Darina.
Isn't that the king of the Gorons? Oh,
Yu
Stormani.
was
Hang on.
confused by the seal on the envelope, indicating the place of departure. No leave grad.
That's not a real place.
Is she really coming back to Cannot? Yu wondered.
Cannot. My name is Yu, and I live in a place called Cannot. Oh, clever. If it's what I think it is, that's clever.
Dear Yu, my doctor's suspicions are confirmed. I have the same disease that struck you. I thought it over and decided that we need to break up. It may seem that things like that should bring people closer, but it would be unfair to myself. We can have our last date on the morning of April 3rd in the Seafront Cafe, and then I will leave Cannot and go abroad. He felt dizzy.
Oh no, his life's falling apart. We should have just gone to work. Do we go try and salvage this relationship with this person?
Although you suffered from excessive hypochondria, he really had an incurable illness. He clearly remembered the day when he heard the diagnosis.
What does he have? Shouldn'ts? Gimmies?
Since that moment, he stopped counting new birthmarks on his body.
They're not birthmarks if they're appearing after birth, honey.
He seemed shaken up after reading the letter, but not surprised.
No, that's a suburb.
He tried to squeeze out a tear to see if he was still capable of showing emotions.
Is that like a metaphorical thing, or is that the disease? Oh my.
Alas, he just welled up a little. You decided that it was because he had drunk a large amount of coffee, which dehydrated his already dried up body.
Hughes doesn't sound that bright, honestly. I don't think he's...
Approaching the seafront, he tried to spot Dorina.
Oh, I like the picture in the back. I can barely see it, but it's kind of neat.
It did not take him long to find her. There she was, at the cafe table.
Okay.
She probably had no clue how much he appreciated her starting the conversation.
Conversation's what they call breakfast in this world.
Usually, you are late.
I have nothing to say to this.
I am tired. I hope you understand me.
Why do you talk like a chatbot, Dorina?
But he did not.
I don't understand either. I don't really blame him. What are we doing here?
Having overcome his anxiety, he squeezed out a handful of words.
Maybe I'm actually a sentient tube of toothpaste. Oh. I was gonna say she seems like kind of a dingbat, because the two sentences she said didn't make any sense. There's so little context for what's going on. You know what? You doesn't give a shit. You don't care.
He seemed to be ready for such an outcome, and did not hold a grudge against her.
Classy gent. That's right. It's time we part
Nodding
ways.
goodbye to her,
We've grown apart.
you hurried
It's
to
not
her.
you, it's me. It's just one of those things.
He
Okay.
was almost there when he saw his boss enter the office building. He took it as his personal failure, although his watch showed that he still had several minutes.
Oh, you poor bastard. You need a better life than this. Why is that a failure to get to work on
Yu
time?
barely got into the office when he noticed two male silhouettes behind him.
That's some American thinking.
He turned around and saw his boss and a man he had never seen before, a little further away.
That's your replacement. Train him. Then we're downsizing. You're being made redundant. Fucking
To
bullshit.
avoid unnecessary explanations, Yu took a badge from his table and pointed to it.
What kind of badge? Policeman's badge? We just have a pile of badges? You want to be a sheriff today?
Yes, despite the fact that there was no live communication with clients, the work charter required to wear a name tag, probably to remember your name.
Well, I don't think anyone forgets your name, you.
Wow, that's a very unusual name. Nice to meet you.
Morning, Frank.
It is the only unusual detail of my life.
Is that Nobble? Who's that deep-ass voice?
An awkward pause hung in the air. The boss standing behind Frank frowned and cast a reproachful glance at you.
We fired you months ago, you. Why are you still coming in?
Frank is our security guard starting today.
I was about to say call security. Frank, you is not supposed to be in this building.
We have nothing to...
Hide. Protect. Help.
A security guard. Some of my important documents are missing.
Oh, snap. Are you committing corporate espionage?
There are only 2 of us. What kind of documents?
Oh my god, that's amazing. Could you imagine you going to work and it's just you and your boss and you meet a new employee and they're like, this is a security guard. Things have gone missing. It's just the 2 of us. Oh my god.
That I cannot tell you.
Oh. Oh, you. Oh, you.
You mean you suspect me?
Who else, you dip? I don't think he's that smart, honestly. This disease, maybe it ate his brain like that an amoeba in the water in Texas.
No, I do not.
Or River Country. That was what closed down River Country in the 90s, wasn't it? Brain-eating amoebas?
Eliminating any opportunity to continue the conversation, the boss turned around and went into his office.
You, just quit. I mean, it's bad, but...
The room plunged into silence. You got down to some clerical work.
Get down to some clerical work. I am trying desperately with this. I really didn't like it, but it's so serious and weird.
Imagining again and again how the shelves, stocked with books on jurisprudence, would break loose due to their own weight from friable concrete and break his head.
What the hell? So he's fantasizing about basically giant law books falling on his head when the shelf breaks. Well, to be fair, I used to have similar thoughts about the giant industrial fans in the ceiling that exhausted like the heat of the factory out of the main room. Not like exhaust, that has to go through filters, but just like airflow. And I always looked up at them and I was like, man, if that thing falls, it's like the thing in Willy Wonka when they're floating up the bubble pipe. Bubble pipe, you know what I mean.
Allowing himself a little break, Yu took his diary from his table drawer and made a note.
Okay.
I never took a plate of soup at school lunches, even when I really wanted to. I was afraid to spill it in front of everyone, but I could put it on the table, which seems to be my life's pattern.
Wait, well, your voice actor screwed that line up and you didn't do another take. It may be one guy doing all of this, I don't know. But I never took a plate of soup. Well, that's good, because soup should come in bowls, not plates. At school lunches, even when I really wanted to, I was afraid to spill it in front of everyone before I could put it on the table, which seems to be my life's pattern. So he was so afraid of embarrassing himself that he did not try, even though it was something he really wanted. And I feel like that's the pattern that he's alluding to. Not soup specifically, the pattern of denying yourself something just because you are afraid of how you're going to look to other people. Letting go of that is the best thing in the world.
Feeling some satisfaction from writing that, he resumed work.
This is interesting.
There was a rustle of the janitor's broom and the trill of birds outside the window. More accurate than the clock, you thought? Chapter 2.
Oh, Chapter 2. I'm going to stop here for now, and we will pick this up next time with Chapter 2 of Yu's life. I think the narrative's interesting enough. Y'all should probably dig in with me. And I do apologize for making kind of tasteless jokes and stuff. I'm trying to not get too down, because this poor guy, I feel so bad for him. I always want him to smile. But guy fantasizes about books crushing his head, like, repeatedly. And then has to write down about how he can't even do things because he's so terrified of how it will appear, the optics of it. Oh, how sad. That's insane. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe for more. Thumbs up and subscribe for poor you. There's a little you in all of us, I feel like. At least at certain points in our lives. Until next time, cookies. Be sweet to each other. Bye.